one thing we know happened for sure. We saw Eternals.
Yep.
That's a real thing. That was a real thing that happened. Went out, saw Eternals.
On the big screen.
On the big
weekend.
screen. Yeah. It was
them out.
It was good to get out. It was good to be there. Yeah, I enjoy it. I was enjoying myself out in the theaters. And we talked about Eternals. It was like the third or fourth episode where we're talking about Eternals at some point in the show. And I think we had expectations going in of what this movie was going to be like, right?
Mm-hmm.
We kind of knew. We had a feeling, especially when critics started reviewing it, what we were in for.
Yeah.
So we try to go in with a clean mind. I want to know what you thought.
I did.
Did you get there? Did you get there before you went in?
Yeah, I'm like, I just wiped everything out.
All right.
So, man, this is heavy.
I know.
This is heavy. Tears might even fall. No.
All right. I'm here for it.
So it took, 6-7 days after I saw it to be at peace.
Okay.
To understand.
All right.
So I want to preface a few things first.
Okay. All right.
I've only seen this movie one time.
Okay.
I haven't seen it a million times.
Okay.
I haven't had a chance to give things a second look, to go over things that I may have missed, didn't understand. I've only seen it the one time.
All right.
I didn't know anything about Eternals. I didn't read the comics. I don't know anything.
I don't know if there's much
other than what I found out the past year about Eternals. I still didn't go pick up a comic or read anything about them. The only thing I know is a 2-hour and 40-minute movie that I saw on them.
Okay.
That's all I got. So I can't claim to be a big fan or anything. I also want to say I'm not a film expert. I'm not a pro with this.
Yeah.
I can't claim to know everything. All I can do is say, hey, I saw a movie and these are my thoughts.
Absolutely.
So I can break it down into 2 categories.
All right.
So I'm going to break it down to what the film, from a film standpoint.
Okay.
The cinematography, the blah, 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 the boring crap.
All right.
And like as a superhero movie fan.
Oh.
Because there's like 2 sides of me.
Sure.
And there's a kid that is a fan of superheroes and is like a little nerd.
Well,
and then there's the guy that's like, oh, well, let me evaluate this movie and tell you what I thought about it.
I think that's fair also when you bring in like Academy Award directors, right? You know, it's like on a technical level, we do have an expectation.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
And then it's coming from a studio that's known for making good hero movies, so we also have an expectation from that side.
There's 100 things flying at this movie.
Yeah. Before you even see it.
Yeah, before you've even walked into it. Before you even saw a trailer, there's 1,000 things flying at this movie.
Yeah.
So, like I said, 6-7 days after I saw it, I finally was able to settle in.
All right.
And kind of like understand
everything
that had happened. Because when I came out of this movie, I was furious.
Really?
I was angry. I was angry.
Oh yeah, you expressed angry. You were making some noises.
I was angry. I was in the theater like.
Yeah, you were heavy breathing like. Oh no, I don't like that.
I was like eating my candy like really fast. I was like, what is happening? So, but like I said, it took me some time to kind of relax a little.
Okay.
And I was super hard on this movie, and a lot of what I said I stand by.
Okay.
For me, after thinking about it, I have zero care or love for any of these characters.
Yeah.
Zero. I don't care about them. I don't like them. Well, I shouldn't say I don't like them.
Yeah. You don't care.
I just don't care about them.
Okay.
They gave me zero reason to care about them, to love them, to worship, to do anything with them. They didn't give me a reason to care about them. Yeah. One of the characters, and we don't have time to go into the deep, deep philosophy of it. One of the characters stood in the corner and cried the whole movie. One of the most powerful, and this is the thing that I talked about, one of the most powerful, galactic, earth-shattering, universe-changing characters in the world sat in the corner of the movie and cried the whole time. And that was super sad. And there was a reason for it.
Sure.
I get it.
Sure.
You know, if someone's like, hey, you're going to forget everything
you've
ever known about yourself, I'd be sitting in the corner crying too. Yeah. But guess what? I'm not a universe-changing being. I don't have that kind of power.
Yeah.
And if it was for the good of the universe, I'd be like, all right, cool. I guess I guess that's what we have to do. I guess that's what my job is. I guess that's what my destiny is to do.
Dang.
It's to do what I'm told by my creator and not sit here and complain about it.
Nice.
So that was something that really, really bothered me.
All right.
But the biggest thing is the movies. It's a good movie. There's some beautiful stuff in this movie. There's some great scenery. There's some awesome costume design.
Yeah.
I really
That's
enjoyed
true.
some of the costume design. I enjoyed some of the colors.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things to like. They shot on some awesome locations.
Oh yeah.
Like
It's
some
beautiful.
beautiful locations.
Beautiful. Yeah.
And that just, none of that stuff was enough for me to like care about this movie.
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough. When a movie's well done, but
It's like, it was good.
yeah.
But like, that's not,
yeah.
it's just, it was hard because like, okay, cool. Give me some big epic battle to end this.
Yeah.
Just give me the classic
Right.
shoot 'em up, big bang thing at the end. Just give me that. Because if every superhero movie can do that, then fine. You got the big CGI mess at the end that we all love as fans.
Right.
And they're like,
that's why we're there.
no, let's do that, but send all the characters away. So some of them aren't even here. You know what? No. Let's kill some of them. Let's just put some tentacles, just poke them with some stuff and just kill them. So and it was just frustrating for me because I had these expectations.
Yeah, of course.
Of like the most
that's what I'm saying.
Powerful, epic, earth-shattering beings that I've ever known. They created the world.
Yeah, I mean they kind of
created. They're like everything. The whole course of human history, has been decided by these 10 people.
Like they've had a hand in it all.
They've had a hand in everything that we've done.
Yeah.
And you kill them with some tubes.
There's definitely a disconnect there.
I get it. I know there's a deeper. I only saw the movie once. Did you hear me say it at the beginning? I only saw this once, so I didn't get to evaluate everything.
Yeah, but should you have to? I mean, that's.
Should I have to watch this 5 times to know?
You know, it's like
I love Gemma Chan. She was fun.
Yeah, she was
great. She was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I liked Druig. Druig was my favorite.
Yeah,
I really liked him.
He was cool.
He was cool. I felt he was level-headed. He had an understanding. I did like a lot of their characters. They were cool characters. Gosh, and Speedster.
Yeah,
Makari.
Makari, yeah.
Awesome.
I actually think very good.
Makari was crazy. Yo, when she was beating the
crap out of Icarus.
How out of Icarus on the beach, just like boom, 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 like so bad. I was like, that's cool.
It was actually one. Yeah.
I was like, look at this. I was like, she's a true speedster.
Right. I know. I thought that was so cool.
I was like, that whole thing on the beach was awesome.
Yeah. Even
her part on the beach was awesome.
Right.
I was like, she's a real true speedster, and that's cool to me.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's the movie's 2 hours 40 minutes. We can't break everything down.
It's
but
tough,
at the end of the day, there's a lot of things that made this movie a good movie.
Yeah.
But for me as a fan, for me as a superhero fan, I don't give a rat's ass about any of these people, or if I ever see them again. And again, it's not a knock on the movie, but you gave me nothing.
Yeah.
Salma Hayek, like, awesome, dude. Yo, cool. We got Salma Hayek in here. No, kill her. We don't need her. Kill her.
They did kill
her.
Some of these people.
You're gonna kill her? You're gonna what?
I know.
Like, you're gonna kill her? Come on. Like, that's awful.
Yeah.
And then for the greater purpose of the universe, I don't care. You could have killed Angelina Jolie. She didn't help anything.
No.
She helped nothing.
She was a crybaby.
She helped nothing.
Yeah.
And I know everyone will fight me and they'll defend it to the grave. And that's awesome. And the thing that I did like, and I'll close and then I'll let you go. The thing that I did love about this movie is it impacted some people in some great ways.
Yeah.
Some people are like, oh man, this changed the way I think about things. This like opened my eyes to superheroes in a different way. And that's awesome. I'm glad that people walked out of this movie and had a better understanding of the universe or how superheroes work or their role in society or in movies, whatever it is. It like impacted people the way an Iron Man, Captain America never could because they just saw him as superhero action figure toys, whatever.
Right.
And this movie hit people.
Yeah.
in a great way, and that's so cool.
Yeah.
I as a superhero fan, because that's how I feel about all of them.
Yeah.
They hit me in a significant way that I can think about things. And for some people, first-time moviegoers, long-time MCU fans, it hit them that way. And that's great. I'm so glad for them. I don't want to take anything away from those people that finally got to have that. If someone came to me and was like, dude, you didn't love this, was so cool. And I'm like, dude, that's awesome for you. I'm glad you had that experience.
Sure.
That's great. That makes me excited as a fan because I felt that way before. I don't want to take that away from you.
Right.
But for me, couldn't give two licks of anything if I ever see any of these characters again.
Yeah, and that's a bummer.
I really don't.
Yeah,
that's
agree.
Just how I feel.
I do think that. For the most part, I do agree with you, and I think a big reason why it connects with people is probably similar to why I think I connect with Superman a lot, because a lot of these people. Well, they're not people; they're celestials, right? So they're gods, basically, among us, and they have to learn how to be human. They have to learn how to be. They have to learn how to live among the humans, and that's always an interesting study that filmmakers and writers have to do, because it's like, how do you make these grandiose beings that nobody can relate to whatsoever? How do you make them relatable?
Yeah.
Right? I can't relate to somebody flying or speeding or mind control. I can't relate to that. So how do I relate to them?
Yeah.
Because they're not even human. They're on the earth to, again, have just slowly help us advance. And again, they don't necessarily know what their purpose is, but it's actually to get the population up to a certain point. So there's enough energy in the world so they can create another celestial, right? And so how do you relate to them? Well, that's where you and it's an awesome moment in the movie when Ajax has them all together and she says, like, you guys need to go. You guys need to go and live among them, and you guys need to go and find yourselves.
Yes.
Right. And it's a beautiful. I think that's what's very relatable about the movie in a concept.
These beings can be human.
Right. Right.
Because at the end of it, they ended up wanting to save humanity.
Right. Yeah. Because they fell in love with humanity on their time on Earth. I have an issue with the movie being 2 hours and 40 minutes and not telling us anything. And that's like my biggest gripe with this whole experience, is that for 2 hours and 40 minutes, you basically gave me like a pilot episode of a series. Yeah. Right. And I said it right when we walked out, and I'll echo it here. This should not have been a movie. This should have been an 8 to 10 episode miniseries. And what drives me crazy is that while they were writing the script, like, even the way that they formatted the story lends itself to being a show, because they, again, are all together, right? And Ajax sets them apart and sets them free, essentially, right? There's your episode 1, but they have to then Gemma Chan and Icarus, I forget that guy's name. Yeah. So they have to go and collect them again, right? They have to go around and start collecting. And I'm like, how did you not see, like, episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, episode 4? And then
you deal with everything along the way.
And I'm like, you could have easily had, like, it was laid out for you perfectly to make a miniseries that way. Yeah. And for 2 hours and 40 minutes, we sat in a movie theater and it was rushed, which is, again, a crazy thing to say for a long ass movie. Yeah. But man, there's too many characters. There's too much going on for it's so dense that hardly anything can get explained. And when something is happening on screen, they can't hold on it long enough for you to absorb it and enjoy it. They got to move on to the next thing. The bad guys in this movie.
Oh, they're so bad.
It's awful.
They're so. I can't even believe I didn't think of that. Yeah.
And I can't, like,
the deviants.
Yeah. The deviants
terrible.
are
just terrible.
and they serve no purpose in the long run of this whole
they're like-
movie. Zero. Like, if you wrote them out of the movie, it wouldn't change much because they're not the actual bad guy. Icarus is the actual bad guy. And so I'm like, what? We don't even need these deviants. It was like a weird thing. It was a misdirect.
And
right?
they like weren't even strong villains.
yeah, they
posed zero threat,
they evolved
which was
and
all right.
yeah, I know. Yeah, it was just
Cool.
like a
Yeah.
way for like I really felt like the writers were intentionally misdirecting the audience so that we wouldn't see the Icarus reveal, and that was infuriating because it wasn't done well.
Yeah.
And I even said like it would have made more sense if they needed the deviants at the end to defeat Icarus. Like if they were like, an enemy of my enemy is my friend. Let's work together on this.
Mm-hmm.
But no, they didn't even use him for that. Angelina Jolie kills the main deviant, and then it's done, and then that's it. And then we never hear anything about it again, and then we just move on with our lives. And it was so frustrating to have been intentionally misled.
The whole 2 hours.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't get like, and I get if it's a misdirect in the sense that we left clues for you along the way and you could have figured it out. Mm-hmm. And again, and even though we introduced this character and they're not the actual bad guy, they're actually useful in the long run of the story. But I enjoyed not the story that was told, but I enjoy the world that we're in.
Yeah,
right. I enjoy the characters.
Mm-hmm.
Again, like you said, this movie's beautiful. This movie is actually filmed very well. This movie is actually
it looks great,
done well.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not enough time, and there's no investment in anything that's going on in the movie. And
that's what's frustrating is because you do have 10 awesome characters that you could get, and a lot of people did care about. Again, I didn't.
Yeah.
But there's 10 characters that you could have made
Oh
awesome.
yeah.
Universe-changing, powerful characters, but you didn't. And they're like, "Whoa, you're gonna have sequels and this." It's like,
no, that's not. Yeah,
but I don't. Why do you should have gotten me right now?
And you're
so
not,
I want to go see a sequel.
But
so I want to continue with this story.
And you're not going to explore any of that in the sequels. You're gonna keep moving on. You're not gonna look back and be like, "Oh, let's make you care about these characters now." No, that's what the first movie was for, is to make me care about them.
Yes, exactly.
And of course, the issue is that there's a lot of them, right? So you can't. Again, that's why I'm saying it. I think a movie was the wrong format.
You could have picked one.
You could have had us care.
Cersei is the one I did.
Yeah, Cersei is the main character.
Every scene.
Yeah, Cersei and Icarus are the main characters, right? And I appreciate a lot of, like you were saying, the things that people can grapple onto. Like, I really like the Sprite story of, she is in, like, why is she made a child, right? So she's always felt like, so again, like, I'm making a lot of these assumptions, I guess, myself, because the movie's not necessarily telling us everything. But the idea that someone has made a child and is put on this earth, with a humanity that's not necessarily built for children. Yeah. She doesn't get to have the same fun. She doesn't get to have the same experiences that everyone else.
She's not a child nor an adult.
Right. She's just like, she's essentially spent 7,000 years hating every minute of being on Earth. Yeah. And that's such an interesting story in itself that they could have explored in a whole episode, where here Sprite is and just she's just conflicted with this humanity she was put on here to save, but yet she hates it every step of the way. Yeah. It's such an interesting story that you could have also explored, but it's told to us, but we're not really seeing any of that.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the thing. And again, because you can't. There's too many characters, right?
There's no time.
You can have that level of explanation for each and every one of these characters. And I really enjoyed a lot of what they dive into with Cersei. Yeah. But I'm like, I don't care about anybody. I don't
but
care about
that's
anybody.
What's so frustrating?
Yeah.